accounts of the situation, and according to them, they don't believe that they were groomed or anything bad was done on the part of Ava Tyson or anything like that. And I'll just go ahead and give my take on it here. I talked about it on stream, and I'm not trying to be some kind of armchair psychologist because I'm just, at the end of the day, a little reptile brain idiot. But I really do feel like in a situation like this, it's very difficult to process.
Our enemies want to tear our home apart. We cannot let them.
Just how inappropriate or unacceptable something was when you lived it. I imagine that it's very difficult to view this as the person that you communicated to so closely for so long was actually evil or doing things that were wrong. But in reality, no child should have this kind of relationship with an adult where you're joking about sending nudes to a minor or making edgy jokes about coming for America. So while the person here might not feel like a victim, it really is completely unacceptable that Ava Tyson would be communicating with them like this. It really is, no matter how it's done. Now, it is important to mention that right now, most of the evidence is screenshots, so I guess there is the chance that some could be fake, but some of them seem very hard to fake. Like, there's a video going through a Snapchat conversation with Ava. There's also confirmed things that were publicly tweeted from their account over the years, which I'll get to now. And it was also revealed that Ava Tyson had a history of being a Shadman enthusiast. Since all the tweets have been deleted, it makes it very difficult to find the times that they communicated with Shadman or talked about Shadman and the art. But I did find this from Mudahar's video, who went to the Wayback Machine and showcased this tweet. And Mudahar censored it because the character does not appear to be over the age of 18. For those of you that know that name, that might have just...
You might think you know Bespoke Post. They have leveled up big time. The thing
triggered a Winter Soldier moment in your brain with your eyes rolling into the back of your skull, because it is so foul. Shadman was an artist who drew child porn. Now, when you hear that, a lot of people think that you're talking about lolly, or lolly hentai type shit, which is characters that look like little girls but are actually 5,000-year-old vampires. Like, that's the meme. Fucking sipping from their Mountain Dew going, uncultured swine. You see, it's not actually a real child. This is a victimless crime. This may look like a 4-year-old girl, but you don't understand the lore. She's actually coming from a sophisticated line of goblin ogres, and she is over 400 years old. So it's completely legal, and you're weird for thinking that it's weird. But with Shadman, he wasn't drawing lolly. He was drawing real children sexually. So one of the most infamous cases was when he drew Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter in a pornographic set. That actual fucking lunatic drew porn of an 8-year-old girl. That's not hearsay or anything. That is something that actually happened. And you know what's even crazier? I talked about this on stream. A lot of people supported him publicly. Like, a lot of people defended that. Back when Shadman dropped that revolting dog shit, there was a lot of people that were pumping their fists saying, "Go Shadman! It's Keemstar, who cares? Doesn't matter, he deserves it anyway." Shadman, do you take requests? Can you do this person's underage daughter next? He received applause for drawing child porn. Let that shit marinate for a moment. And so, anyway, Ava Tyson has publicly tweeted about Lolly. And in particular, there are tweets of Ava Tyson talking either to or about Shadman. A lot of the tweets are gone now because the Twitter account has been nuked, but there are archives of a lot of them. And one thing that still persists, and one thing that a lot of people have been showing, is that Ava Tyson may have actually commissioned a piece from Shadman, or at the very least, purchased a piece from Shadman. There's a clip from a Mr. Beast video where there is Shadman art hanging on the wall, belonging to Ava Tyson. I censored the close-up of the art for obvious reasons, but this is something that is irrefutable. The only question about Ava Tyson and Shadman's connection is whether or not a piece was commissioned or purchased. But at the very least, a piece was owned by Ava Tyson. And I don't think there's any wiggle room to just explain this away as some kind of innocent whoops-a-daisy moment of being ignorant of what the art was. With Ava Tyson having publicly talked about content and art like that, and then also owning a Shadman piece, I don't think it's some kind of coincidence. Like, I don't think
one
it was
enemy remaining.
They didn't know Shadman drew child.
I got you.
I really don't. And then yet another disturbing video surfaced where they had actually made a video a long time ago that linked to revenge porn of Jeanette McCurdy.
The story is she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend.
Defenders win.
Easy. Okay, everyone, take a test tube. Thank you. Let's collect samples and get out of here.
Somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see him, so it's there if you want it.
That's crazy. That's astonishing. Sharing revenge porn publicly and trying to spin it like, well, some people might want to see this, so for you degenerates, I posted the link in the description. If you want to check that out. But you'd be weird to do that, and I'm not endorsing it. That's unhinged. Completely unhinged. So all of this started to hit the mainstream. More and more people started sharing screenshots as well as other chat logs, all kinds of things, with a history of communicating inappropriately with or about minors. And in response, a couple hours ago, Ava Tyson did make a statement, and this is what was said. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. That is kind of a textbook non-apology. It doesn't address anything. It doesn't talk about anything. It's just like this blanket boilerplate statement about stepping away. There's no denial of anything, no claims that some of the information is false, made up, fabricated, a lie, a fib, a bunch of malarkey, nothing at all. You would really think that if any of the information was wrong or faked, that would be one of the first things that Ava Tyson would want to set the record straight on. But that didn't happen. Even if it was something like needing more time, I really feel like that would have been expressed in the statement, saying, need more time to talk about all of these things that are incorrect. But again, that's not there. So they're assumed to be all correct at this point, and they're indefensible, the things that have come out here. As I was rendering this video, Ava Tyson dropped more tweets claiming that no one was ever groomed, and then states that the victim vocally supported that that's false. I, again, already told you my feelings on that. I really don't think a child who has this kind of relationship with an adult would ever really recognize just how inappropriate it was because it became so normalized to them, which it never should be. It's a horrible thing, and there really is no excusing it in my eyes. Going further, there's an apology about unacceptable social media posts, and then saying that it was edgy jokes. and that it was
LA. I've
unacceptable
got a few spots I should
humor.
revisit out here.
Yeah.
Couple of food
It's like a
trucks.
thing of the
That
past,
bank in
and it's been
Malibu.
misconstrued into things that
Good
didn't happen,
times.
and then not wanting the accusations to impact hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why Ava Tyson stepped away. I just don't think you can write off a lot of those social media posts as edgy jokes or edgy humor when you actually owned art from an artist who draws child porn. That's not a joke anymore.
Yo, Club, you wanna
Haha,
smoke this
Mom
right here,
said
bro?
child porn art. Like, that's not exactly side-splitting comedy. Like, I don't really think you can just go ahead and hand wave that as being edgy and like old humor.
Stopping fire.
And then some of the
Shot in a
tweets
split.
about it and like requests.
Focusing.
Like what's Spike carry is down.
Spike
really
down
don't
B.
think you can just say edgy jokes that are
Our
flat
spike
out.
is down.
That's you.
I have retrieved the spike.
Reloaded.
Spike is down.
Spike down B. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Still no response yet. So this whole situation is obviously
No peeking.
and
Will he
there's a
try
little
the
bit
same
more I
old
want to talk
tricks?
about here, and it's something I didn't even think I'd ever need to talk about, but I guess we've reached this point in the internet where this is necessary. I've been being attacked on Twitter, just fucking dogpiled about my ignoring the situation and refusing to speak on it, being too much of a coward to talk about all this.
We
which is
should, yeah,
crazy.
go mid. I'll make noise
And
that
then people saying
means
like,
smoke
oh, where was
everything.
the
but just
same
push
energy
from
for
mid.
or where was the same energy that you had for Dr. Disrespect here?
Don't let their ISO
And
separate
it's
us.
crazy that I even have to talk about this. So, last night during stream, this story was
Making
still,
cover.
things were still coming out about this story, and I talked about it on stream last
Reloading.
night. The same day, all of these pieces of evidence were surfacing. I talked about it immediately. Once I became aware of what
Reloading.
the evidence was out there and what the
Dropping
claims
a
were and
smoke.
what was going on, I was talking about it right away. And
Reloading.
I
Go for
posted
it. Just go right there.
highly edited
Spike down A.
nice and concise about the whole bare bones of the situation and my thoughts on it.
I got the spike.
Finish that whole video and see about it immediately. But Twitter didn't.
That's
see
not
that.
ready. Blinding.
And the ones that did wrote it off as, oh, he's only gonna put this on a second channel.
One enemy remaining.
That's 3. My
He's gonna
ult
do that with
is
Dr.
ready.
Disrespect. He was like that with Dr. Disrespect. You are provably wrong. All you had to do was
That's
activate
not ready.
fucking neurons in your check my Dr. Disrespect video. I posted it at on June 22nd. June 22nd is when my Dr. Disrespect video went up. The allegation against Dr. Disrespect was on
Last
June
player
21st.
standing.
Drop
So
in a
what happened
smoke.
is, that allegation came out. I talked about it on stream. Dr. Disrespect made a statement as well the same day that I talked about it on stream. And the following day, almost a full 24 hours later,
Drop in
I
a
made
smoke.
the video talking about it. And in this situation, it was the exact same time talking about it. I had a video go up on the second channel going over everything that was coming out, and now I'm making
Their
a full
crew
video
got
about
sloppy.
it 24
Punish
hours
them.
later. It's the exact same speed and same energy as the Dr. Disrespect situation. And the main person who started this lightning rod of accusations about me ducking it and refusing to address it is fucking Sneeko of all people.
Yo, look out. Moist Critical is not going to go talk about the Chris situation because he wants to have the Mr. Beast collab. Bro, you're going to talk about every other trend situation, Dr. Disrespect, Sneeko, anything that goes viral goes on your main channel.
No
Chris,
peeking.
the associate of the biggest YouTube channel in the world, you do a 4-minute clip on your second channel. Stop coping and be a
Face your
journalist if you're going to be a journalist, or just say that you want to have the collab. Stop lying.
Jesus Christ, the fucking drool there is gonna drive me insane. I need to go put on the fucking bathrobe here and give him PTSD or something. What do you mean it is a 4-minute clip? Because I did that so people like you who don't pay attention long enough could see my take on it and also get the bare bones information of what makes it so horrible. That's the reason it's a 4-minute clip on the second channel. It was never going to be the only video I made talking about it. I was always going to make a full breakdown of this because it's bad. It's a horrible situation. So yes, you're right. I do talk about like big trending bad shit like Dr. Disrespect.
Enemy
or,
spotted,
like, Khalid
mid.
Poe most recently. I don't know
Show me a
why
target.
people thought I wouldn't
No
talk
peeking.
Go.
about far more than I knew Ava.
Reloading.
I thought the
Está removed.
Like I never left.
I met 1.5 times. I first
Stopping
met
fire.
them after a poker game with Mr. Beast. He came up right before I left, and then at the most
30
recent
seconds left.
Beast-
One enemy remaining.
When I
Three.
got out, Ava Tyson showed up. And I talked to him,
Last player standing.
but I never knew Ava Tyson very well. Todiko I did, and I still wasn't afraid to talk about how awful his shit was. So I've never been someone
Planted the spike.
who can shy away from a bad situation like this just because I know or am familiar with the person that it's about. So I don't know why people thought that that would be the case here.
Camera
Also,
taken
for the millionth
out.
fucking time, I'm not a journalist. I'm like this Z-tier stupid journalist, like this actual layman fucking CTE riddled idiot that reports on stories, and I talk about them usually to make jokes about them. And recently it's been very common. There's serious stories that I am very passionate about. This isn't really a story that I joke a lot about because it is serious. When there is a victim who is a child here,
I remember
that's
that
something
one.
to take seriously. But I'm not a fucking.
I have money if you need.
Most of the shit I talk about is the most inconsequential mumbo jumbo ever, like aliens in warp drives, or that recent story about how scientists discovered hippos can fly because they get airborne for a split second, literally like 1/2 of a frame. They're able to get all 4 little legs off the ground. And I talk about those stories and joke about them. It's just talking about shit to joke about it for the most part, except in cases like this, where it is a serious story that I talk about. Now, Sneeko, I hope you're ready for this.
Making cover.
I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. When this story broke, I thought for sure, I would have actually bet money that you would have been some kind of contrarian talking about how this is actually not a big deal and everyone...
No distractions.
...about it is actually just a hypocrite. Because you have been on this crusade for a while now. So I thought you'd be talking about how, oh, this is just like Dr. Disrespect.
I let go of my
You ran
mouse
hard
and just
defense
kept
for this unmatched
he's even
based
worse.
off of one fake email from an anonymous.
Where is
And I
everyone
thought you'd be
hiding?
going that angle again, saying like,
Drop in a
oh well, that
smoke.
13-year-old was probably very mature.
Age of consent should be maturity. It's not even 18 in most states. Why do you even believe that? It's because in Hollywood, it's 18, so that's and if you question that, it's well, I believe age of consent is age of maturity.
No more cage.
Last player
Age of
standing.
consent implies that you're gonna have it's better that people get married at 16, 17 than to have a bunch of people dirty and they're washed up and they get jaded and they're on birth control and they have dried up eggs.
No peeking.
He's so
G-Man ready for a
intellectual
light
that he
show.
actually argues for things that defend pedophilia. That's fucking
I've been
ridiculous.
looking this whole
And
game,
when
brother.
challenged
You're
on
fine.
this, it's even worse. So there's an older clip now, it's quite a few months old, where XQC and Destiny actually challenge him on this right through his face, and holy shit, it's bad.
You see how you want to answer the question? See how he's going to yap and not answer the question? I'm going to ask the same thing when you're done.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
save.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go
Right there.
Sneeko thinks you should be able to fuck 9-year-olds. That's what Sneeko thinks, and he won't answer that question honestly.
rotate
Or
right
he's
in
going to have to
the-
give a different answer, in which case he's updated his
Yeah, you're right.
morality. Updated his views, and that's really uncomfortable for him. You don't have to answer
Or
any of this
angle,
shit, bro. Go back to fucking that fucking corner in London where you're getting roasted by year 1 debaters on fucking Christianity. This is retarded. I don't know what the fuck you're doing in here.
Blasting. Flash out.
Reloading.
Focusing.
I know exactly where.
to your left, Cypher behind her.
Drop in a smoke.
Prepare for hellfire.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
Drop in a smoke.
Snivel in the background there as he's sucking up snot from his nose, getting cooked, and his brain is fucking overheating,
Come on,
malfunctioning,
get me in the
trying
line
to
of
formulate
fire.
some kind of response to the easiest question in the world about what he
Alright, that
thinks
seems
the
to
age of
work if
consent
we just
should be.
get that pick
He
next
keeps talking
time,
about
so we
the
do that
age of
again.
development and then can't even put a number on it. So everyone, please feel free to ask Sneeko what he thinks the age of consent should be if you want to see a human being fucking glitch out and malfunction like an Oblivion NPC. You can't answer the most basic question in the world. That is concerning. You realize how deranged that makes you look, Sneeko? That makes you look like an actual danger to society, that you don't agree with the age of consent and try and argue
Drop in a
around
smoke.
it.
Show me a
That's what
target.
every pedophile ever that Chris Hansen talked to would do. Like, you're fucking weird. So for you, of all people, this putrid vermin, this absolute
Someone is A. Reload.
that I only care about the Mr. Beast lab because this whole story is just relegated. You'd never
Careful
know that,
here.
That word's too big for you. This whole story is just put on his second channel where no one's gonna see it because it's safer that way, so he can keep the Mr. Beast collab alive. He's afraid, he's a coward for it. He has no problem abandoning his morals and defending blatant pedophilia, brushing it under the rug as long as it means it keeps the Mr. Beast collab
Yeah, go big.
alive. For you to make insinuations like that, even claims like that, is fucking unhinged, considering you make actual pedophile defense arguments.
Spike down mid. Last player standing.
I
got Spike.
Complete with the shield to defend Dr. Disrespect when he himself
To your
publicly
left.
admitted. But it became such a huge fiery issue on Twitter about me specifically that I felt the need to have to include this in this video, which should have been entirely focused on everything Ava Tyson has done
That's
and
hard
why
push
it is
A.
so
I'll use my
shitty.
ult.
But now I've had to dedicate a sizable chunk to talking about these claims against me, about how I'm not going to talk about it and was not going to talk about it until
Clove, I
pressure
need
from
to smoke
Twitter
right
forced me
there.
to, even though I had talked about it as it was developing and even mentioned on stream.
Take them
I was
one
going
by
to make a
one.
video on it. So to bring it all back to what should actually be the focus, the Ava Tyson
Making
situation,
cover.
No peeking.
I believe that
Focusing.
I got this.
Blinding.
is horrible. And having this
Alright.
kind of continued
Reflection.
Bro, who's pushing me?
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
back and forth and being in voice chats with
Me go on my mark.
saying gross things.
Last player standing.
That it is
My
not
ult is
okay
ready.
under any situation. It's disgusting behavior. And publicly and even owning art from that artist and talking about art like
Oh,
that.
this
and
reminds me of this
the
one
revenge
time
porn,
where
all
I,
of it is very fucking bad.
Actually,
it's horrible. I'm not
never
pulling
mind.
any punches here on my feelings around it. So
Right
yes,
here.
I wanted to talk about this, and
Right
that's really
here.
about it. See ya.
Perhaps you know me as the Kung Fu Panda.
Chin up, cuties. It's not over yet.
How come he's not watching the debate? I never watch the debates.
No
This is the only
peeking.
one that I've been somewhat interested in watching just because of how outrageous it seems. And from all the clips I'm seeing, it's even more so than I expected with Joe Biden actually not being able to put together a sentence. I just clicked on the first article that came up when it said debate, and I'm getting like a transcription. My son was not a loser. He's not a sucker. You're the sucker.
Dropping a
You're
smoke.
the loser. Joe Biden.
Watch your eyes.
I see here so far the same energy as my
Back
favorite
like
Joe
I
Biden.
never left.
America can be summed up in a single word. Flash!
I know exactly where you are.
Is it? I was checking. Not a single one of them.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
1.5 million Damn, this YouTube channel's clapping.
I reckon I'll take a kip after this. I've earned it.
Am I allowed to watch this while on YouTube? I don't know how that works actually with CNN. On Twitch I know it's fine, but I don't know if YouTube allows it. I'll let this ride a little bit longer to see if I get a DMCA notice.
Enemy spotted. Mid.
The idea that we're going to be in a situation where all these millions and millions of things.
Show me a target.
No, you don't.
No distractions.
Kill the rest.
Ah.
And by the way, those 15
One enemy remaining.
Planted the spike.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care.
Like like the way that they like
Just
they
swapping in new
it
fusion
just looks
cells.
So
Okay, my
not
arms are good.
human.
We can go.
I watched a it wasn't a VFX team. It was a practical effects team going over like some of the masks they use for their animatronics, and it actually just looks like both of their skins. Like it actually looks like their faces. They legitimately don't look real. They're so old.
I hope this one's exciting.
Virtue. Yeah, I'll turn it up. It's just, I imagine it's just from Biden because he's kind of like ASMRing it, at least from all the clips I've seen.
Never seen it. I did that a lot. I fired COVID because it was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI.
Right there.
They were no good.
Just wait for
Not
smoke
easy
for
to
that.
fire people. COVID has failed.
I hope everything goes well. It's going cute.
I fired him. Enemy spotted. He never fired. He should have fired every military man that was involved in that the Afghanistan horror show. The most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire.
Last player standing.
Where are my bullets going? Like genuinely, where are my bullets going? They're just weaving around people at this point.
Where will they go this time?
Mental institutions, did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit here and waste a lot of time in this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He's the worst president. People said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little cut from the border and come out and come out with a nothing deal. And it reduced a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants our country to even be destroyed.
To your left.
Show me a target. Got the spike.
Our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of coming out of this war.
Over there.
We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He's the worst in history by far. Thank you, President Trump. President Biden. You are the most admired.
Spike down mid.
Damn
My
right.
bullets don't do damage.
Our fucking cheeseburgers and titties, baby. Everyone loves America. Yesterday, Abel Chris Tyson of the Mr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. No storm. P. Diddy.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. No storm sickness warning, so we're gonna play this one.
Last round before the switch.
Spend everything on this one.
Who needs a buy? Who needs a buy?
I need a gun. Thank you.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Sarah Palin? How does it feel to be the same sex as Michelle Bachmann? How does it feel to be the same sex as anybody you disagree with?
Hey.
Why does it even matter whether or not the same gender is somebody else? I mean, I'm also the same gender as Abraham Lincoln Einstein, the guy who introduced chocolate to the Western world. So what are you even getting at with this question? Are you trying to say Donald Trump is bad and Donald Trump is
Stop fire.
bad?
Why do you hate Ron? Or do you just feel like you need to hate them? Everybody likes Beyonce. Everybody likes Beyonce. It's just a fact.
Men hate romantic comedies.
Sorry, bro.
Over-sexualized female
Can you smoke that mid, please?
The men in these movies are
Face your fear!
Now, I don't have any empirical data to back this up, but it seems to me that romantic comedies and romance movies in general cause
Last
people to have
player
unrealistic
standing.
expectations of men and women. They become expectations that men have to live up to.
Switching sides.
They promote body image issues and shit like that. And I agree
Outside
to
of this gig,
immortality doesn't have a expected to be Prince Charming, ready and willing to sacrifice themselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. We're called selfish for daring to have our own desires, or even misogynistic for daring to draw attention to our own problems. These movies appeal to the female fantasy of having a knight in shining armor swear their entire existence to pleasing them, and thus reinforce these notions within their target audience of women like you that you somehow deserve and should expect to have your boyfriends and husbands give up everything that makes them who they are and basically dehumanize themselves for your pleasure and devote 100% of their time and energy to you. The fact that some of you watching this are scoffing at what I just said only proves my point. You have fooled yourselves into thinking that I'm somehow the one who's being selfish when I object to the notion that men should be expected to cave into all of your demands for the sake of your perverted, idealistic conception of love.
Over there.
Some of you will accuse me of being bitter at some ex-girlfriend for saying that. But I'm not. I will preemptively characterize such an argument as an outcropping of the very mentality that I'm talking about. You expect all of your demands to try again. Must have such a long their own interests and goals. It's selfish for you to expect.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Exactly that. And that is why we hate romantic comedies. We don't see anything romantic. Reinforcing expectations about what we should be doing with our own lives. Also, fuck Beyonce.
Why do you make women sit around
If they try
and talk
something,
about men and movies?
I see it.
Yo, easily just sit around and talk about boobs for hours.
I don't know. Maybe you should be asking the people who write the romantic comedies. I need a trope. Because those are the movies which have women sitting around talking about men. Or better yet, instead of complaining about how writers depict women in their movies, maybe you should try being the change you want to see and write your own damn movie. Then you can make the female characters sit around and talk about whatever you want. Like how men are oppressing them, or how men are objectifying them, or how men are such pigs, or how men spread their legs too far apart on the subway, or how men hate romantic comedies. There's nothing stopping you. You're referring to the Bechdel test, which is bullshit. All the
Show me a target.
But I think you hesitate to call any of those movies pro-feminist. Please. I don't know a single guy who ever talks about boobs for hours at a time. I think the only guys who do are medical students learning how to conduct mammograms. You want to know what most of the men I know talk about? Movies, video games, politics, religion, music, sports, cars, boats, technology, work, guns, hunting, places they've been to, people they've met, and so on. The subject of boobs
Spike
actually
planted.
rarely ever comes up, contrary to what you may have been told in your women's studies class. Men don't think about sex constantly. If they did, you would never have invented the camera equipment you used to make this video. If anybody's talking about boobs and hours at a time, it's feminists. You're the ones who are only characters complaining that Batgirl's tits are too big. In all honesty, the only time I
Last player standing.
character's tits is when I hear a feminist bring it up. So I think maybe you're objective.
Neutralized.
You won't like TV or movies that star a female.
That's some of my favorite movies and TV shows have female leads. I don't know a single man who has ever scoffed at the notion of watching a movie or TV show just because it has a female protagonist. However, I have seen feminists scoff at anything with a male lead.
Why are you surprised when
Shoe on head.
I didn't bring a snack.
But I will say
Did
that
anyone
in general,
bring a
women
snack?
are not as funny as men, and I think most women will agree with that statement. I
I
also
need a
think
drop.
there's a reason for this. See, if you understand what humor is and how it works, which I'm guessing you don't because you're feminists, then you know that the things that make people laugh often have their roots in very dark subject matter. To quote the amazing atheist,
These people who are fucking offended by rape jokes don't even understand humor. They don't they think of humor as like a happy thing because humor makes us laugh and laughter makes us happy. But a lot of the times they don't seem to notice that what we're actually laughing at is quite dark and morbid. Like if you actually look at it and examine the jokes and look at the exaggeration and try to figure out the mechanics of how the joke works, why does it work, you're gonna find that a lot of jokes have their genesis in pain and suffering. Because laughter is this great transcendent tool we have.
Focus. My ultimate is ready.
Spike planted.
Difficult to comprehend or deal with and make it something funny. Like if I how many police officers does it take to change a light bulb?
Last player standing.
You know
That's not ready. Blinding!
Drop and scoop.
Flash out!
Or that people are shenanigans or police brutality. It's not making light of any of that. What it's doing is it's taking that pain and
Listen
it's
up, you
taking that
muppets.
dark
If
subject
I don't
matter
get back
and it's
up, just
helping
give me a
us
nudge.
transcend it
I
for
may
a
not be
moment
dead,
and
just take
view
on the cap.
the absurdity of our circumstance, because that is what humor is supposed to do. Humor at its best takes the elements of the world that are dark and horrible and shows you their absurdity. It shows you the absurdity of the human condition, and
Right
that
here.
is important.
see, men are socially conditioned to not talk openly and honestly about their feelings, which I will talk more about later. And that's why we cultivate a sense of humor. The only way we can really talk about the things that upset us is if we do it with a filter of comedy. But women are privileged and not subject to such social conditioning, and so they don't feel the need to cultivate a sense of humor, and that's why women in general aren't as funny as men. That isn't to say that all men are funny or that all women are unfunny. It's just that, in general, men are fucking. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. Also,
Who else? My ult is ready.
Spike planted.
Show me a target.
I mean, I'm not the funniest person in the world, but if you think of yourself as the funny one, you probably lack the objectivity to realize that everybody else in your circle is just kidding.
Why do you think that we're obsessed with you when we
Reload him.
Last player standing.
Also, what shit could
Match point.
If I may, I'll go in first. No charges.
Drawn on, spend your husband's money on more frumpy sweaters, buy a tub of Ben & Jerry's and watch Glee, or write more inane questions for men to answer because you're so lacking in self-awareness that you can't figure out the answers for yourself.
Why can't I sleep with as many people as I want to without being judged? When men do it, they're congratulated.
Go ahead and sleep with as many people as you want. I don't give a shit. And once again, I don't know anybody who would. The only time I would care is if I was dating you, because if you told me you've been with 20 other guys before I met you, I would naturally assume that there was something wrong with you if you've been in so many relationships and them all failed. Not to mention the fact
It's
that
you and
you're
me.
carrying an STD. And I think
No
that
distraction.
Face your fear!
men who have slept with a lot of other women the same way. Also, who's congratulating men for sleeping around? I don't see any guys walking around with trophies for fucking everyone they've met.
I know exactly where it is.
Furthermore, I would say that most media portrays I mean, blank whack.
Last player standing. Attackers win.
Why do you consider a man a douchebag if he doesn't call you back 3 days after he meets you, but desperate if he calls you the next day?
In what world does no mean yes?
No means no.
I don't know anybody who thinks no means yes. Also, this question seems to be in the spirit of the feminist notion that all men are potential rapists, which simply isn't true. I already talked about this at length in my other video, Teach Men Not to Rape with Stupid Rhetoric. Moving on.
Why do you say that women are too emotional to be leaders?
Maybe if feminists argued with logic and evidence instead of feelings, people wouldn't think that.
So then justify catcalling by saying men just can't control themselves.
I have never heard a man say either. I have heard women say both, though.
Why do you think that just because you're nice to me, I owe you my body?
Why do you think that just because I'm nice to you, I want your body?
Sometimes I've been walking down the street hysterically crying because my cat was missing, and a man came up and was like, "Hey, what's up? Why are you crying? Can I talk to you?" Like.
But I want to continue this. So when the guy came up to you and asked you how you were doing, did you judge his intention, or do you feel like you?
I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I'm hysterically crying, holding flyers that say "missing cat."
Wait, what if he was checking how you were doing because you were crying?
No, it was a cat call. It was like a, "Hey, pretty lady, like what's going on? You
What
get in
if
my
he was
truck."
trying to be sweet to get into you, like, "Hey, pretty lady, why are you crying?" That's
He's not entitled to my time, honestly.
If he had not said anything to you, then he's a dick because he's a guy in society who saw a girl crying and didn't do anything.
But it's a different. If he's saying that to get my number, that's different than him coming up and saying, "What's wrong? If I see your cat around, I'll let you know." Like that's a different thing.
How was he gonna know about your cat? He saw a girl crying on the street.
Well, it was just, I was hanging up.
Match found.
If I ever see a girl crying on the street and she's hysterical and she might have just lost her parents and has nobody, I shouldn't go up to her because
She doesn't know you. She doesn't know you.
But we're humans. We should care about each other.
Of course, but and I think you have to understand what you come off as to women. They don't know you. It's like if a brown bear came up and said hello. Like you just have to like.
Why would you ever send an unsolicited dick pic?
I wouldn't. If you didn't give out your phone number to the types of guys you meet in nightclubs, you know, the type of guys who go to such clubs for the specific purpose of meeting women and who read books about how to be a pickup artist, maybe you wouldn't be getting dick pics from them.
Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister, it's not okay?
Why do you feel like it's okay to make these misandric videos which paint all men as sexual harassers and rapists, but when somebody treats your son that way, it's not okay?
How does it feel to interrupt me when I'm in the middle of making a point during a meeting?
You make it sound like the only people who have ever interrupted you are men. I smell confirmation bias. Hey, have you ever stopped to think that maybe people interrupt you because they realize you're talking shit and wasting time after only 2 sentences?
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open? I get that you have balls, but I don't stand around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
Maybe that's because your boobs don't get squished between your arms when you stand normally with your arms down by your sides. A man's balls are literally between his legs, and they do get squished if he puts his legs together. It's not exactly an apt comparison. Furthermore, why do you even care? Not so you complain about women taking up 2 seats with their bags.
Why are women perceived as the weaker sex? Even though we literally birth you, like watermelons, through like this.
Because physical strength has nothing to do with your ability to give birth. Women are, generally speaking, not as physically strong as men. The average man has about 50% greater upper body strength than the average woman. I'm sorry, but that's just simple biology. There's also the fact that men are, by and large, the ones who go to war and fight and die to protect you. Men are the ones who work the dangerous jobs which make your comfortable lifestyle in the industrialized world possible. And historically, men are also the ones who have gone out into the unforgiving wilderness to kill dangerous animals so ungrateful, entitled women like
This poor place.
you as a woman are substantially less likely to die.
City after my own heart.
You don't have to worry about being called a deadbeat for not risking life and limb in a factory or field for the benefit of others. Nor do you have to worry about being told you don't have a real job because you work with computers or push pencils in a safe, clean environment.
Out of
Women
charges.
work soft, pushy jobs compared to men, and that's why women make only 7% of workplace fatalities, despite making
Placing swarm
47%
grenade.
of the workforce. That is
Placing
why
swarm
UFC
grenade.
leader says, if you don't want people to see you that way, then get out of your comfortable air-conditioned studio and go work on the
Placing
craft
sentry.
of coal mine. You're always complaining about employment discrimination, so go ahead. Take the dirty, dangerous jobs and show us all just how strong and tough you are. And look, I don't begrudge women for working jobs that don't put them in danger, and I will freely admit that my job isn't particularly dangerous. But if you're going to sit there and act like women are stronger than men just because you can give birth to some person with 0.0002% chance of dying from if you live in the United States ago, then you can fuck right. By the way, any woman who's experienced both is part of
Sorted.
Why is it so bad to show your emotions?
Spike planted.
To complain about our problems. Since you're not
One enemy remaining.
Gun here.
Let me
Right
spell it
here.
out.
Reloading.
There's both in the day when you talk to non-expressive feelings. You're constantly being told to man up and that boys don't cry.
Gun here.
What we do is seen as a self-defense. To put it simply, us men are programmed to believe that our own feelings
You can
are
trust
invalid,
my
and
bots.
so we
They
hide
only
them and lie
malfunctioned
about
that
them.
one
We are
time, and
raised to expect that
honestly,
if we
she
tell
won't
you
miss
our
that
feelings,
finger.
You will shoot them down. You will tell us we're wrong for feeling the way we do, and even if you don't, we still don't want to tell you our feelings because we know you'll use them against us. You're probably thinking that you don't do that, but you do. You do it all the time and don't even realize it. Ask yourself if you have ever had an argument with one of the men in your life and you told them if you were a real man, if you ever have, then you have done exactly what I'm talking about. See, no woman has ever been told if you are a real woman, you won't feel this way. Women have their feelings cultivated and coddled. You're not only allowed to, you're expected to, and when you do, people around you give you sympathy and you are comfortable. You are so used to getting sympathy that you feel entitled to it. Men don't have to. A man fully expects to be looked down upon, and told that his feelings don't matter because that's what he has experienced. And you wonder why the suicide rate is 4 times higher than it is.
Reloading.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that the social conditioning of men to not show their emotions is
Right
part of
here.
the patriarchy.
No people. Reloading.
Let me give you a look.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Your safe space men are allowed.
Why are you always trying to prove your masculinity?
See my answers to the previous question.
Right here.
Also, wow. How
Their
egocentric
tactics are
You're so
unique.
certain that the world revolves around you.
Uniquely
You believe
not
that when a
working
man is
for
acting
them.
like a man, that he must be trying to prove something to you. Like he couldn't possibly be acting like a man just because he's, you know, a fucking man.
Placing
Why
sentry.
are you constantly trying to prove your femininity to me? How about that?
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
It's also considered not gentlemanly.
Placing alarm bot.
Swearing is generally considered rude regardless of the gender of the person who's doing it. Personally, I don't give a shit if you use profanity, go right the fuck ahead. And when did words get
Dropping
gendered?
smokes.
I guess right around the time the word feminist was invented, which is itself a gendered word. And when the invention of feminism was one everything subject to gender. Like when you were saying that interrupting people is somehow a uniquely male behavior, or that only women can swear.
Why is it your first instinct to doubt women who have been sexually violated?
Maybe if false rape accusations weren't systemically encouraged, then you wouldn't have a problem.
Have a cat.
Notice how
Refreshing. Enemy spotted. Men. Reloading.
Oh! The more salient question would be, why do you doubt women who claim to have been The answer is because we have this thing called the presumption of innocence. So it's not like first instinct to doubt. It's my moral imperative to doubt until evidence is forthcoming. You wouldn't put somebody in jail just because somebody accused them of murder, nor would you put them in jail just because somebody accused them of theft, nor would you put them in jail because somebody accused them of any other crime. So
One
why should
enemy
accusations of
remaining.
rape be held to a different standard? This really isn't a difficult concept to understand, and it both baffles me and disturbs me how often I see feminists failing to grasp this. For people who claim to fight for social justice,
30
you really
seconds
don't understand
left.
how justice works, do you? See, a man who is accused of rape will have his life ruined. That's not even only if he is convicted. The mere accusation is enough to cost him his job, his
Survivor's rest. I'll clean up.
If a woman wants to ruin a man's life, all she has to do is accuse him of
Reckon
raping
we're
her,
just better,
and he will
eh?
be put through the ringer by law enforcement and the media, and even if he is found not guilty, the damage will have already been done, and the woman who made the false accusation will get away scot-free. Really, it astonishes me that even after what happened at Duke and the University of Virginia that you still ask
Placing
me.
swarm grenade.
Furthermore, feminists have abused the word rape to the point
Placing
where it's
swarm
all
grenade.
abuse.
Alarm bot out.
It's gotten to the point where if a woman claims she was raped, I have to wonder if she means a guy
Turret
who
out.
forcibly put
Keep
her
doing
through
what you do
or if she has
best.
consensual sex and just decides to call it rape when she decides she regretted it the next morning, or if she's merely complaining that a guy looked at her in a way that made her feel uncomfortable.
I know exactly where you are.
According to some people, it's rape if a man changes positions during sex without forewarning. It's rape if your boyfriend breaks
Found
up
them.
with you.
Swarm grenade out.
It's rape if you overhear somebody.
Reloading.
Really, it's your own damn fault that you're becoming increasingly reluctant to believe rape accusations because you have expanded the definition so broadly that nobody even knows when you're really talking about rape anymore.
Watch your eyes!
You asked for it, and now you have buyer's remorse. Now let me pose a question to you. Why is it your first instinct to doubt when a man says he was sexually violated or raped by a woman?
Why do you assume a woman's angry because she's on her period?
Because women get angry when they're on their period. It's a scientific fact that the hormonal changes
Spike
a woman
down, B.
experiences during the period cause her to become irritable. This is called premenstrual syndrome or PMS.
Spike
However,
planted.
I don't always assume a woman is angry because she's on her period. If your boyfriend thinks that, maybe it's because you're not being straightforward with him and expecting him to try telling him why you're angry. That, and I thought about simply telling him that you're mad that he ate the last Klondike bar or whatever trivial bullshit
You can wallbang if you know that right. You can
figure it out.
Look to your right and
you have answers to stupid questions you're asking.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
You can say the same thing about your dick size.
You actually answer the question yourself. We consider it false advertising for the same reason that you think that stuff at the bottom of his pants is false advertising. If you cover up all your pimples and scars with people, you can't but you don't really look the way you did when you first met him. Wouldn't you feel like dressed, drove a nice car, rented that car with his bird?
I'll shut them down.
Why isn't it
Until
weird
then,
that there's a bunch
survive.
of old white men sitting in a room making
a
legislation
drop.
about what I can and can't do with my body?
Wasn't it a room full of old white men who decided the Roe v. Wade ruling? You know, women have had the right to vote for almost 100 years now. And polling data has found
Placing
women are more
sentry.
likely to vote than men.
Placing swarm grenade.
These old white men keep getting
Placing
elected.
swarm grenade.
I see a lot of you people support
Placing
Bernie
alarm
Sanders,
bot.
even though he looks
Time
like
for a
an
field
asshole.
test.
Go figure. Furthermore, why does it even matter that they're white? Why does the melanin level matter more than the merit of their ideas? Wasn't it Martin Luther King Jr. who once said, "I have a dream that my 4 little
Who's
children will one day
next?
live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by their character"? For as much as you people like to accuse others of
Found them. Swarm grenade out. Reloading.
but it's not racism, it's a power struggle.
Bye.
As if whether or not the prejudice is subjected to institutionalized makes any difference to them when it happens. Fuck off. Racism is racism, regardless of who's
Found
doing
them.
it. Calling it something other than racism doesn't change the fact that it's fucking racism. And the only people who think otherwise is
Spike
racist
down A.
This mentality that only certain people can be racist hinges on the categorization of people based on their ethnicity and the ascribing of attributes to them such as privilege based on racial categories. You have to make judgments based
One
on race
enemy
because
remaining.
you
Right
have to
here.
make assumptions and generalizations about race or so you have to be racist to use this argument. How do you not see the problem with this? How do you not see the problem with putting people's race before the merits of their argument and categorizing a hierarchy of consideration based on their race? How the fuck do you expect to put racism with racism and then expect people to take you seriously?
30 seconds left.
Why you think that somebody thinks you're stupid
Drop in a
because
smoke.
you're a woman? You're projecting. You judge other people based on their race and gender, so you
Last player
Well,
standing.
I've got news.
Clutch.
If It's not like they don't
The enemy
also
only
realize
looks
that
composed.
For
I need a drop.
example, I can't take the palm of my hand and slap some sense into you without being
Need a drop.
assault.
Do you have a coochie?
Why are straight guys so obsessed with
Be
lesbians?
ready.
Why are straight women so obsessed with gay guys? Or better yet, why are women so obsessed with lesbians?
Correct.
According to
Thank you,
Pornhub
Ben.
search data for 2014, the #1 thing women searched for was lesbian porn.
Shut up. Okay.
Proportionately, women look up lesbian
Thank you,
porn
Ben.
more than men do.
How does
No.
it feel to you?
Placing sentry.
Do you ever get tired of trying to be manly all the time?
Do you? You're the one who's dressed like a lumberjack. To answer your question, no, not really. It comes naturally to me since I'm a man. The fact that you're asking this question implies that you sometimes get tired of being feminine. So do you ever get tired of being feminine all the time? Is that why you dress like a lumberjack? Would you like to be a man? Enemy spotted! Have you mastered have you completed your 40 hours of rape training?
Gender equality.
I'm not. You are. What I'm afraid of is gender inequality, which is what feminists are actually pushing.
I know exactly where you are.
In 2005, politician and co-founder of feminist initiative Gudrun Scheinman proposed what media called a man tax, which would have raised taxes for men in Sweden, basing it on the idea that all men should be held accountable for all man-on-woman violence. It should be noted that Scheinman was convicted of tax evasion in 2004, a year before making this proposal. In 2010, women's group leaders in Israel
Spike planted.
proposed changes to rape laws that would make it possible for women to
Back like I never left.
commit sex acts on non-consenting adults or children who are not old enough to legally give employment to
I'm back for refreshing.
In 2014, Jessica
Last player standing.
in The Guardian advocating paying men less than women. In 2015, York University planned to hold an International Men's Day and to highlight issues affecting men and boys, such as the high suicide rate, shorter life expectancy,
One enemy remaining.
and education. It was canceled after feminist students, staff, and alumni protested and held a petition to ban it, which received over 200 signatures. Holly Baxter wrote a condescending article fascinating readers why we don't need an international Men's Day. You can claim the definition of feminism as advocating gender equality all you want, but actions speak louder than words. And it's really hard to believe that the feminist movement is really a movement for equality when you dismiss anyone who brings up men's issues as misogynists. You say all men are rapists. You try to ban men from certain places on college campuses. You actively fight against fathers' rights, undermine the
Placing
presumption of
swarm
innocence when
grenade.
it comes to rape accusations, and you deny statistics about male victims of
Placing
domestic
swarm
abuse,
grenade.
as well as protest and disrupt conferences about male suicide.
Turret out. One down.
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
Bomb grenade out.
In what world is 68 cents?
On this question, I realized there are only 33 questions instead of 36. I just naturally assumed these 4
Reloading.
questions are actually one. It's like, no. BuzzFeed actually considered this compound question as a bunch of separate questions in order to bolster their count for their deceptive clickbaiting title. Like it wasn't bad enough that they're already not even really questions. Anyway, this has been pointed out countless times by countless other people, but the wage gap is bullshit. And when I say it's bullshit, I don't mean that it doesn't exist. I mean it's bullshit because of the way it's presented. The absurd wage gap is based on comparing the average income of men to the average income of women without considering any variables. Sometimes when the wage gap is brought up, they add women get paid less for the same job.
One enemy remaining.
Asking women why they get
On
paid
site,
less
go
than
on
men is
site,
like
go on
asking why
site,
men are
leave,
more
leave,
likely to die in the workplace than women. It's because men and women
Is this the best? My ultimate is ready.
And since men tend to work higher paying jobs,
Killjoy calls her tech killer robots.
men tend to
Good
make
joke.
more money. Even when you are comparing men and women working the same jobs, there are things which factor into why men get paid more, such as the fact that men are more likely to work overtime, are more likely to ask for raises or promotions, are less likely to take time off, are more competitive, are more likely to take risks, prioritize earnings more than women, retire at a later age, and all these
Turret
other
out.
things which studies have found.
Placing swarm grenade.
Consideration,
Placing swarm grenade. Alarm bot out.
Really, I hate to point out this obvious bit of common sense, but if companies could actually get away with paying women less, don't you think they would just hire nothing but women to save money? Do you honestly think that corporations are their profits and shareholder interests? Don't be stupid. And no,
Drop in a smoke.
women in STEM fields has nothing to do with discrimination. In fact, surveys have found that there is a 2-to-1 preference for female applicants in STEM. So the reason that there are so few women in STEM
One enemy remaining.
interested in pursuing careers in STEM. Gender studies. And if you wish to continue pushing this baseless contention that keeping women out of STEM fields, then explain why you are stopping women from dominating certain fields such as veterinary medicine, psychology, pharmacology, and biology. Furthermore, which is it, 77 cents to $1 or 68 cents? I've also heard other feminists claim 72 cents. The fact that you can't keep your story straight kind of says something about it. And I'm really struggling to understand why you thought including this discrepancy in your video was a good idea. Maybe you should have
Quick
let
peeks
a man
now.
approve it. That was a joke. I had to explain it because it
Placing swarm grenade.
It was a joke.
Placing swarm grenade.
By a woman.
Who's next?
Placing sentry.
Why are you intimidated by my team? It's
Target destroyed.
opinionated men aren't seen as bosses unless they're as boss. Otherwise, they're just called assholes. Unless, of course, their opinions disagree with you. In which case, they're kicked off the campus. Someone's A. And told to stop responsible. Maybe that's why opinionated women like you are seen as bitches.
Why aren't you speaking up when you hear your male friends behind closed doors make jokes?
One enemy remaining.
That's not
Reload
enough
him.
answer, then let me ask you this.
Look,
Do you
don't
speak
start
up when
rested.
your female
Still
friends
what
make
to do?
jokes that are offensive to men? No? Why not? Oh, because it's empowering, right? Fuck off. So I thought you said you were probably funnier than me. You think of yourself as a funny woman, but you don't want people making jokes that don't cater to your own
Placing swarm grenade.
Stop trying to pull
Placing
other
swarm
people's
grenade.
Placing alarm bot.
Why are you so afraid
Placing
of
sentry.
Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
I just love how you boldly assert that I have privilege without backing up that assertion at all, and then proceed to talk down to me in this condescending tone, like it's just so obvious.
It's you and me.
Oh no. By against being the same gender is not
Reloading.
I defy you to name one, just one, legal privilege that I have, which you don't also have, because I can think of several you have which I don't have. Let me list 10. Women are almost always granted custody of children and are divorced by default unless they have the misrepresentation of gender bias.
Oh, hell no.
This is despite the fact that children are twice as likely to be abused by their mother than they are by their father, according to page 49 of Child Maltreatment 2013, published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Women have
I've got your trail.
assigned to them, which is why they only make up 44% of
Wrong
homeless
killed
men.
my bot.
This is despite the fact that 42% of homeless men are employed.
Shut them down.
Homeless women. This is according to Who's Homeless, published by the National Coalition for the Homeless, July 2009. Single males, the homeless.
Spike down A.
Got one.
One enemy remaining.
Women get more lenient sentences
30
for
seconds
equivalent
left.
crimes. See Estimating Gender Disparities in Federal Criminal Cases. And women who get a male coworker fired from his job simply by sexual harassment.
Deep breaths,
It's so
everyone.
easy for a woman to
Your
get a man
hearts
fired
are
out of
pounding.
malice. It happens so often that men are now starting to avoid women altogether in the workplace. Elsas talks about this in Sex in the Office 2015. In California, a woman can declare a man to be the father of her child and sue him for child support, and it's up to the man to prove that he isn't
Placing
the father
swarm
by taking
grenade.
a DNA test. And
Placing
he only
swarm
gets 30
grenade.
days to do so.
Alarm
If
bot
he doesn't
out.
do it in that
Look
time,
out for their
the
rift
court will
walker.
declare him responsible for the
Turret
child,
out.
even if he proves he isn't the father later. A woman can sue a sperm donor for child support. A woman who gets pregnant with stolen sperm can sue the man she stole it from for child support. Would you argue that a man should keep it in his pants if he doesn't want to be a father? Imagine if you heard a
Swarm
conservative
grenade
Christian
out.
argument
Swarm
against
grenade
abortion by
out.
saying women should keep their rights together if they don't want to be mothers. I can agree with that. A woman who gets pregnant by rape can sue for child support. Enemy in effector spawn.
Spike down. Attacker spawn.
She doesn't even have to tell him she's seeking an abortion.
Flashbang.
A woman
No
can
one
opt
wants
out
to
of
work.
parenthood if he wants nothing to do with the child. A woman can opt out of parenthood, but a man cannot. Domestic violence against women is actually taken seriously. Men are always presumed to be
Whoa,
the
why
aggressors in
would you
domestic violence cases, despite the fact that CDC found that more than 70% of domestic violence. Even when a man is recognized as being a victim of abuse,
One
he's
enemy
almost
remaining.
always presumed to be at fault. People ask,
Not
what
ready
did he do
yet.
to piss her off? So let me pose a question to you. Why are you so afraid of recognizing your privilege? It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it. Or
You made a mess of yourself.
Last round in the half.
Load up. We're not coming back.
Cheaters, drunk drivers, animal abusers, murderers. Yeah, that's right. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not going to censor myself. I think you got to be a real jerk to kill someone. Standing wipers is another one. I don't understand.
Placing swarm
what kind
grenade.
of psychopath would stand
Placing
up
swarm
after
grenade.
doing their business to wipe when the
Right
toilet
here.
seat
Charge
already
out.
strikes
Out of
you.
charges.
The optimal angle of entrance to your butthole doesn't make any sense. You're adding
Initiated.
and
Oi!
another thing that I'll never have respect for are pathetic scumbags that abuse the YouTube strike system because their feelings got hurt. And that has been happening quite a bit lately on the platform. It's been an incredible week
Area's clear.
for little slimy weasels that like to use the YouTube strike system because someone made a video they weren't overly happy with. March on in here and administer some wedgies and shoot spitballs at these fucking thieves that are doing this disgusting behavior where they're abusing this YouTube system. Videos that said not
Spike down B.
The first one I want to cover is from this YouTube channel, Ingween. They received a copyright strike from another YouTuber named The Manny Show. I'll go ahead and play a clip from this video that explains it.
That one of my videos had a copyright takedown, which is very
Enemies.
new. The video in question that was taken down is why everyone
Enemy spotted B.
automated email and says, "Hi, Emily, we received a copyright removal request."
I was unfamiliar with the Manny Show before this situation, and I really missed 30
30
minutes ago
seconds
when I was
left.
still in ignorant bliss about who this was, because this shit is insufferable. It's
One
a massive
enemy remaining.
channel that just aims to fill the shorts algorithm and try and farm subs off of it. It sucks.
Switching
It super
sides.
sucks. Copyright strikes are a huge deal. It's more than just
Buy
a video
stuff,
getting
ka-ching,
taken down.
little
It affects the
skrrr,
entire
do my
channel.
job,
I'm
yeah?
sure all of you are familiar with the strike system on this platform. It's the nuclear option. When someone does that, it's a declaration of war, and that's when things get extremely serious. And it's also an unforgivable sin on the internet. If you ever have that little devil on your shoulder that convinces you to file a copyright strike, just know that blemish is going to haunt you for the rest of your fucking life on the cyberspace. People don't forget that. So if you're filing a strike on a channel, you better hope that that channel is publicly beheading puppies or something, because otherwise, everyone's going to hate you for it forever. Strikes
Right here.
in an ideal world would be reserved for repeat offender channels that are publishing like borderline criminal
Placing sentry.
Anything aside from that, and you could just file a normal copyright claim and block. You don't have to choose to strike the channel. You can just take down the video you think is in violation of your copyright and have that be that. But when you go the extra step here and put the cherry on top of the cake with a strike, then it becomes. In a situation like this, the Manny Show is still they took the lesser of two evils.
Last player standing.
Because
Spike
they
down
have no
mid.
grounds for removing the video whatsoever. They have no legs to stand on. It's a completely fraudulent system that blatantly abuses YouTube's system. It's a commentary channel that will play the content, let it play for like 10 or 15 seconds or so, and then talk about it, giving their commentary on whatever.
If I power down, you start me.
Whatever.
Scrap. I'll kill
Looking at the removal request, we can see that 13 seconds of the video was enough to lead the Manny Show to strike the entire fucking channel here. That's some fucking filthy fish beast right there. 13-second clip was enough to have the Manny Show bring the hammer down.
That was a little
on the
slip.
channel
My
because
fingers got my-
Ingween was saying some less than stellar things about the Manny Show, I guess. You can't strike someone because your feelings were hurt over what he was saying about your content. That's just not how it works. He hasn't violated any rules at all. You are totally fine to content and then talk about it, transform it with your commentary, jokes, whatever it is. It's not like you took the entire video without adding anything to it whatsoever. There was no rules that were broken here, at least not from what I also will just never understand this strategy of doing something like this Because as the Manny Show, or part of the Manny Show team, you would that
Spike down mid
channel ever would see this and immediately talk about it, because this is just a big no.
Last player standing.
Don't strike another player just because they hurt your feelings. That will always be the biggest possible way, and it puts all the eyes on you as the bad guy, as the villain. All this work for that. No matter what Ingrid was saying about you, and I can't go watch the video since it's been taken down, but I imagine he was calling him cringe or something. Now you have made things significantly worse for yourself. The video title that got taken down was Why Everyone Hates the Manny Show, and I don't know what the reason behind it was, but I can tell you what it will be now. The reason why everyone hates the Manny Show is because they're very sensitive and file false strikes on other YouTubers' channels. I can now answer that question for why people hate the Manny Show. And that's because of your actions. Not even because of your content, it's because what you've done when someone criticized you. It's fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Speaking of dumb and stupid, we have the actual fucking mascot for those things, Tech Lead here. He is apparently still filing false DMCA claims. I just made a video talking about him. I called it Complete Loser. I went over his last fraudulent strike that he issued on Internet Anarchist. Mudahar posted this on June 29th, so only a couple days ago. This appears to be a Tech Lead filing
last player standing.
Request. This is a classic SpongeBob, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man moment. This one is particularly enjoyable though, because this means that YouTube automatically declined Tech Lead's attempt to falsely strike another channel. This doesn't happen super often. They do have measures in place to prevent offenders like Tech Lead from abusing these systems once they're made aware of it. So what happens, and I've seen it a couple of times,
Not that I need
what
to, of
happens
course.
is you take one of these fucking worms like Tech Lead, they file a takedown removal request. YouTube will then start processing it and realize that this is just a bunch of hooey. So YouTube will actually send you an email making you aware that someone tried to target a particular video for a particular reason. In Mudahar's case, that video from a Tech Lead
Get some, Reyna.
And they tell you that they are not going to take any action because they believe it's fair use, but they want to put it on your radar in case you want to do something with that information. The reason they state is in case you want to delete it just to be safe to avoid any kind of like legal ramifications if they decide to go above the YouTube strike system. So they give you that information so that way you can plan your next steps accordingly, whether it's deleting the video or contacting the party. So that's why Mudahar
Spike down B.
There of the Tech Lead DMCA. It's because YouTube thought it was
Placing
such
swarm
a
grenade.
particles that they didn't even bother.
Swarm grenade out.
They just threw it to the trash. Copy to Mudahar to basically use as toilet paper if you want. That is so poetic for Tech Lead. YouTube won't even take him seriously. I'm surprised they haven't taken legal action against him since he is openly on record admitted to abusing going up, which is a legal problem. That is actually him admitting to some very bad activity that you can absolutely slap him for.
Last player standing.
YouTube is now very much aware of Tech Lead and what he's doing, and I really think YouTube might take actual action.
Viewers don't get a reset button.
Now maybe I'm huffing copium like crack here, but it really to me does seem like YouTube might do something. They're declining his DMCAs without even bothering to process them anymore because they must be aware that this is just bogus. Like it's fake, fraudulent. So maybe they'll do something against Tech Lead. I think they absolutely should. And this has nothing to do with his false DMCA takedown strike crusade that he's going on, but I have to talk about this because it was so pathetic.
Suppress
A few nights ago,
One suppressed. Flashback.
Careful now. But I was excited and I saw Tech poke this curious little head in my chat, and he would cheer on whatever boss I was fighting at the time. Like, go get him!
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
Boss loser, and nobody in the chat even noticed he was there.
My ult is
Such an
ready.
insignificant fly that even his attempts to try and stir up shit in the chat didn't work. It just flew under the radar because no one gives a fuck about him. But I saw him because I'm always paying attention to the chat. It's the most fun about streaming is interacting with the community. So I saw Tech Lead in there, but I didn't call any attention to him. I just sat there and just looked at what he was saying. And I know he started fuming because I'm actually good at Elden Ring. So he came in during the Mother Finger boss fight, and it only took me like 5 tries or something on that boss. And he came in there at like the third or so try. So he only got to see me take 1, maybe 2 deaths until I beat the boss, and then he just had to sit there and stay there because I wasn't struggling on the boss. It would be so embarrassing that this grown-ass man would take like 30, 40 minutes, whatever it was, out of his evening, it was like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., something like that, to hopefully watch me struggle on Elden Ring bosses and then not even get the pleasure of seeing that. Now, if he came in later and saw me on the final boss, he would have had quite a spectacle, because that boss is fucking brutal. That took me like almost 3 hours to beat. But he
I know exactly where you are.
Slap around and just smack down. And he just had to sit there and just say nonsense, and no one responded to it. And I just see it and kind of like smile internally. I just had to point that out. I found it to be like so embarrassing. I don't know how he went to sleep that night with that.
Deleted.
Going into my chat to try and start shit, only to have no response.
Last player standing.
Like I never left.
Last player standing. 30 seconds left.
But yeah,
Spike down B.
Cases here because within just a week, we've already seen 2 YouTubers falsely strike or attempt to strike other channels for nonsense reasons.
Wow.
And I think that shit sucks.
Everyone's motor functions okay? I know humans get tired.
And I've never had an experience where I read something so cringe that it made
Everybody
my
follow
tummy upset.
Chloe. Everybody
One
follow
of these
Chloe.
two things is about to change today.
How you allow
And I don't think it's the threesome. I just read something from, yet again, my deep diving onto the horrors of modern dating with absolute deranged weirdos. And the whole interaction was so mind-bogglingly peculiar that my body couldn't help but suffer from a physical reaction after finishing this adventure here. I don't know where these men are coming from. These dudes are just being printed in the cringe factory and being thrown into the dating world as like the worst NPC encounters you could ever have. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in, but before doing that, just a quick heads up. The Moist Global Retro Basketball line is still available right now. This is the best assortment of merch the internet's ever seen, so you can go to moistglobal.com right now and pick something up. Links in the description. I just read some of the backstory she was posting about this situation in the comments, and it's actually
I've got your
sad.
trail.
Apparently
No
these dudes
peeking.
were dating for about 3 years. It was a horrible situation all around. And a couple months ago, she was with kids. This is the most recent interaction. She would 100% made the right move in leaving. This guy seems like a fucking menace. But anyway, I think that's good. Just working with
Swarm grenade out.
having a jolly old day at work.
Placing swarm
Did you get
grenade.
to the doctors
So you
yet?
zap, you may want to
He says,
Swarm
yeah, I have
grenade out.
COVID. What did he say it give you? What? What did the doctor say or give you to feel better? Take Advil, Tylenol, sleep as much as
30
you can
seconds
in
left.
quarantine. This is so timely because I just finished going
Spike
through
down
COVID
B.
the last 11 or so days. And this is the first
One enemy
Finished.
remaining.
My ultimate is ready.
Last player
Fight.
standing.
And all 3 times
Wait,
that
you're
was the
good.
exact same advice I was given by doctors.
He's mid.
Now, of course,
Oh, Zach.
They're down. Spikes
Zap
down.
is absolutely prescription if you
I heard
want
Lou.
to help with like
Initiated.
unless you're someone who is at risk for like complications, I think. It is an option, but typically they'll just tell you that. You know, take Tylenol, sleep it off, rest, fluids, simple stuff like that.
Drop in a smoke.
So,
Area's
seems
clear.
innocent enough here. And the guy she's communicating with almost seems jovial.
Yeah,
You know, like, I can already see him typing that and going, just working away. You know, one of these with a big old smile on his face, ear to ear. He seems like a happy-go-lucky guy. And then it
Clutch.
feels like a real Jekyll and Hyde situation. He immediately just doubts her, doesn't trust her, accuses her of lying. Lol.
Find the weakest
so you
link.
didn't go to the
Kick him in the
doctors.
shin.
Before this turns into a fight, just tell the fucking truth, lol. She says, I did. There's no meds for this. Yes, there is. Go to the doctors, lol. I need the address and the name of the clinic that told you there's no medicine. Also, the name do the doctors. They will be losing their license. So he's fucking spiraling immediately here. And I feel like this isn't exclusive to just him. I feel like a lot of men these days assume that every girl they interact
Placing
with,
swarm
even their
grenade.
significant other they've been with for 3 goddamn years, is
Swarm
some kind
grenade
of
out.
lying, cheating harpy or something. So they're constantly interrogating because they don't believe anything they say. I feel like there's just so many dudes out there with this like insecurity with this.
Spike carrier is dead.
Everything their partner says.
Spike down mid.
They're cheating in some way. And they're lying about something, hiding something, and it's fucking awful. So this guy's trying to checkmate her here with the scholar's mate. Like, okay, then give me the name and the address, because I'm going to call them to double check, because I don't believe you, madame. He then says, stop being so fucking melodramatic. I seriously don't need this shit right now. There isn't anything they can give me. I'll be fine once it works its way through my system. He just continues to press, please, name of the doctors, location you want to, please. I know you sick. That's why I'm jandling this for you, and just need to know which doctor you went to. I can handle this properly. This guy has so much steam coming out of him. He can't even fucking type properly. He's typing like a caveman. He's going full Neanderthal mode.
30
here.
seconds left.
Like, what in the world is happening in his noodle? He's gonna start jandling this? That reminds me of joking. Like, that was an old thing where you're supposed to, like, masturbate a certain way to elongate your wiener. Jandling is some kind of, like, sub-discipline. But anyway, she says, I don't
10 seconds left.
The receptionist for no reason at all. Stop being ridiculous. I won't scream at anyone, just tell me the information. Skit K can handle this, please. If you don't provide it to me, it's because you're lying and didn't go to the doctors. There's nothing to handle. So just tell me the name of the doctor you saw. This douchebag is making so many typos, it looks like he's trying to transcribe the scat man. Skibbity deep boop scat I can jandle. It's like ridiculous how crazy he's going because he's so angry. I don't know why he even thinks she's lying about this. He admits that he knows she's sick. So why would she lie about the doctor? What the fuck thought process is that? I know my girlfriend is sick.
That's how you survive.
It's probably dick sickness. She's probably hungry for cock and it's causing her physical pain. That's probably what it is. She didn't go to the doctor. She's lying to me about it. I know it. He continues to use that. He says, well, I shouldn't have to prove to you anything. I'm sick. I have COVID. She's absolutely right. She doesn't have to prove
It's you and me.
She doesn't need to try and, like, defeat his responsibility here. She's done nothing wrong.
I know exactly where
You're not
you
proving
are.
anything to me, lol. There's medication for this. I know for a fact, as I know someone else who had COVID.
Our spike's down.
There isn't, unless you're
Spike down mid.
autoimmune disease or your lungs or shit. Otherwise, you're just a carry
Last
like
player
a normal
standing.
fucking virus. Yes, there is. Let me call the it, and I will get you proof. Where did you go, baby? That comes out of nowhere. After all of this, he hits her with a "Where did you go, baby?" I can already just tell from reading this shit, this guy is extraordinarily manipulative and a completely miserable person to be around. But anyway, I went to a walk-in, and frankly, I'm not going to allow you to cause a muck over nothing. I'm going back
30
to
seconds
bed.
left.
What walk-in clinic? If you don't tell me, I'm don't with you. Because
Cutting
I'm
their
not
vision.
a duck. So now man's out here.
Match point.
He's dropping the
Where are we going this time? Remember what worked in the past.
Out here like Liam Neeson about to track him down with his particular set of cringe skills. I guess his thought process was he just wants to confirm that she actually went to the doctor because for some reason he doesn't trust her even slightly, even though they've been together for 3 years. I also imagine if he did call them, he'd start yelling and screaming and causing a big hoopla because he seems like that kind of unhinged, deranged lunatic that would do shit like that. But anyway, he says, fine.
Spike down, B.
I don't want you yelling at someone. Spike down. He says, no one's going to be yelling at you. There's nothing but a liar. Pay him and got a fucking idiot. I wouldn't have even called him, but everything you say is a lie. And you think I'm an idiot, and you can fool me. Anyway, someone's beat.
So Kildare, what the fuck are you doing?
His use of exclamation points and emojis.
One enemy remaining.
But even more so than that,
you know
cherry
here.
on top of the shit is back on
Anticipated.
What? Hope it was worth it.
Everyone makes fun of German efficiency.
But clearly the reason he's using the
Just
emojis
keep
and the
laughing as you
exclamation
use all
points
my
is he's
gear.
trying to put on this strong, masculine front that none of this bothers him. This is the biggest mistake of your life. You're gonna regret this. But me, I'm laughing. I'm having fun with this. This means nothing to me. So much so that I'll drop a laughing, crying. Well, I never thought this day would come.
Let's go.
I've been making videos refuting lies and misinformation spread by feminists for more than a year now. And in that time, I've noticed that some arguments keep coming up over and over again. That's why I've decided to consolidate the most common feminist talking points and rebuttals in a convenient list. These are 22 dumb feminist
Placing swarm grenade.
Intimate partner violence is
What the fuck are you
Swarm
doing?
grenade out.
oppression used by men to control women.
Half of all intimate partner violence is reciprocated, meaning both parties abuse each other, and half
Placing
of
swarm
all
grenade.
violence cases.
Swarm grenade out.
Women are perpetrators more than 70%.
One enemy remaining.
This is according to
Good boy.
relationships with reciprocal and non-reciprocal intimate partner violence. A study conducted by Daniel J. Whitaker et al. And published in the American Journal of Public Health by the CDC in May 2007. Even in cases of reciprocated violence, women are more likely to initiate it. According to Sex Differences in Aggression Between Heterosexual Partners, a meta-analytic review by John Archer of the University of Central Lancashire in 2000, even though men are more likely to inflict injury when they commit violence, women commit violence against their intimate partners more often.
It's down. Guns
It should
up.
also be
Get
pointed out
deadly.
that, according to the CDC, in 2010, lesbian couples experienced more intimate partner violence than heterosexual couples or homosexual men.
Careful
And
now.
in fact, lesbians
Placing
experience more
swarm
intimate
grenade.
partner violence than any other group with the
Swarm
exception of
grenade out.
bisexual women.
Our spike carrier is
Not
dead.
true that men who commit
Spike
violence
down,
against women
B.
are part of some patriarchal
I've got your
conspiracy
trail.
against women.
Swarm grenade out.
When we say rapes that happen in prison, more men are victims of rape than women. And in fact, a man is more likely to be raped in prison than a woman is to be raped anywhere outside of prison. If rape is meant to be a tool for men to control women, then it wouldn't be the case that most rape victims are male. It seems that rape is simply a crime of opportunity committed by individuals against other individuals, and not part of some global conspiracy to oppress women.
We live in a rape culture.
To assert that we live in a rape culture is to assert that our culture celebrates and protects rapists, which it clearly doesn't. Aside from the fact that all forms of rape are rape is seen as
Last player standing.
as guilty by the court of public opinion, even in the complete absence of evidence, and
Drop
lose
in
their
a smoke.
reputation, their education and career
30
prospects,
seconds
their
left.
jobs, their homes, and in some cases, their lives. Furthermore, the idea that a rape culture exists is harmful to men because it blames rape on toxic masculinity, thus implying that all men are rapists or potential rapists.
Not ready
and to
yet.
rape
Hey!
rape
Defenders win.
itself, thus making sexual violence more difficult to combat. As rape is caused not by cultural factors, but by the conscious decisions of a small percentage of the community to commit a violent crime.
Only 2 to 8% of rape accusations are false, so we should listen and believe.
The 2 to 8% statistic is misquoted from an old FBI document from 1996 which says most crimes have a false report rate of 2%. But rape has a false report rate of 8%, so false rape reports actually happen 4 times more often than false reports for other crimes. But what's more important is the fact that this only includes provably false reports, and says nothing about unsubstantiated reports. A study conducted by the University of Massachusetts Boston in 2010 came up with a similar figure as the FBI, saying 2 to 10% of rape reports are false. This study based its figures on the reported rapes which took place over a 10-year period at a single university.
From idea to submission, empower students to do their best work with Grammarly's
Match
generative
found.
Cypher PK for years has fooled you all. You think he's a nice guy, but today I'm showing you who he really is and what his community has done to me. So we're on the Cypher PK Reddit and we are looking up anything that has Courage JD. Let's see what the Cypher Reddit is all about. Courage JD leaked icon. This is how we're starting the video. Wait, there's 3 tabs? No, dude. Oh my. Why does this have 231 upvotes? Nah, oh my god, bro. Most accurate icon skin so far. So this is just a tease for what we have to deal with and the hate I get on this Reddit. But don't worry, stay tuned to the end about how we're gonna fight back. What is Courage doing in his YouTube videos? Yeah, no, that one, I actually can't defend that one. That one's on me. Oh, here we go again. Courage JD new icon series skin. No, this is cursed.
Just wiped out tomato.
What? Is that
down?
Is that an AI voice?
Take to your Xbox to play Fortnite.
Did I just turn British? Nah, bro. This is horrible. Whoever made this has way too much time on their hands. Something's wrong. I can feel it. Not gonna lie, I'd smash. Seek help. Does this hitbox mean courage can get it? What is he talking? Why? Because the chicken's shaped like that? You're saying I can finally get an icon skin? I'm not shaped like that. Look at me, bro. People say I'm kind of shaped like Megan Fox. No, his icon skin to be 5 times bigger than this? Like, what's it like to have such a toxic community, Cypher? The courageous are very nice, but we're gonna fight back. Don't you worry. Cypher did courage dirty, not gonna lie.
Does this mean there is a food shortage in Fortnite? It might be because Courage JD ate all the food in Fortnite.
Ooh, there's a pho place here I've been dying to try. Let's get this over with quick.
I'm saying for PK. Here's 58 reasons why I'm ass. Courage getting roasted. Side effects of oh, I remember this. This was actually a good reply by Cypher. Side effects of carrying the squad. It's Cypher posting some thirst trap. Also, why does a 44 bookmarked? Whoever bookmarked this, seek help immediately. I replied, your muscles equals small, which is true. Your hairline equals receding, which is true. Your penis equals tiny, which I guess that one's up to imagination. Cypher replied, this is Twitter, not your personal diary. And I got ratio. You know, not my proudest moment. Bro was really talking about himself. Yeah, Cypher got me there. You know what? Fine. Fine. What happened to Courage? What happened to... This is an old photo.
Going up.
Even from. Bro looks like a 43-year-old drug addict. More proper. Leave me alone, man. I'm just a boy, dude. No way Courage said that. Can 2 YouTubers beat every rank?
Spike planted.
I'm ranked unreal in eating food. Did I comment? Goddamn right. Yeah, he does.
Concealment. Concealment. Reloading.
Careful now. Watch your eyes.
Courage so fat. It's my locker. Reloading. For real, a sauce spider and turkey pickaxes. Oh my god, be nice. This was a big deal to get my first locker bundle.
One enemy remaining.
This?
Last player standing.
Part 2. Okay.
Clutch.
Falling. Cypher laughing, pointing at me. Me falling to the map. The map exploding. Bird wants to eat the 0 point.
Need a drop.
Sorry. Inside joke.
Please remain calm and follow all steps outlined in our emergency procedures handbook.
Who made this? A 3rd grader?
Taco has lettuce in it, does not mean it's a salad.
Oh, look at Cypher's face in this picture, bro. What? Can we just appreciate that? Cypher full pieces courage.
Rise and bring glory.
I am the Ghostbuster, Cypher. I've held this fort down from a bunch of ghosts and busted on all of them.
Excuse me? Who took the time to edit that? Cypher PK is just weird. I agree, bro. Ooh, Courage JD Universe leaked in the event. Okay, fine. I might cause myself to get posted even more here, but I would love to go to the food universe. And you know what? Nobody's probably surprised by that, but that sounds awesome.
Spike
Pizza,
down B.
Banana,
going up.
Careful now. Burger chip. No way the 7-inch Channing got his own.
Spike planted.
Wait. Flash. You got a 7 chins. How many do I have? About time. First time getting icon skin.
Reloading.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Picture of his screen. Peter Griffin coming to Fortnite though was actually way bigger than I could have ever imagined. Courage editor needs a raise. Friendly fire.
Just gotta play around the slow fields and we're fine.
My editor made that? Oh, hell no. Someone's fired. Who edits React? Kevy edits React. He's fired. That fatty causing earthquake. You're going to get your chance to fight back. You're going to get your chance to fight back, Jack. Don't worry. Did anybody know this? This is courage.
Let's take this Reyna down.
I haven't even been lifting, but come on. Bro, ain't no way Cypher getting competition.
Careful now.
Going up.
The hunt begins.
Watch your eyes. What I'm talking about.
I know exactly where you are.
He's down.
Scatter.
player standing.
Struggle no
Locker
longer.
bundle, the glizzy contrail, is that real? Locker bundle. I like my glizzies with mustard. I like my glizzies with ketchup. Now I will eat a mustard and glizzy.
Last round before the switch.
Hold on. No.
This is
You know
it.
what?
Get those guns.
Is half this?
What if recording high-quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star was as simple as
Sub just calling Courage JD fat? That's really mean, not gonna lie. It's true, but mean. Okay, Banana Day, you almost had a chance of being nice right there. You almost saved me, bro. Courage's icon skin? That's just Roadhog from Overwatch 2! That hitbox is gonna be big. Okay, nope, I'm moving on. Is Courage that? Come on, let's go! Thumbnail?
Going up! Watch your eyes!
And Nick A30 react.
No surprise.
Fortnite. What is the greatest Fortnite clip of all time? I'm in this video. Look, I'm in this video. Wow. Okay. No, good to know. I'm gonna keep that in mind. So keep that in mind, buddy. Courage ate the sun. How many posts are there?
Go down to my first girlfriend. You know what I'm talking.
Spike planted.
It's just the solar eclipse. Excuse me?
Multiple enemy teams.
Oh my god.
Careful now.
That is so messed up. Actually so messed up.
One enemy
I get
remaining.
access there.
Right? Salad. Wrong. Cheeseburger. Is that
Diffuse the spike. Thanks.
Mega Mike? How did you even think of editing?
We defend this place, sir.
My life.
We
Nah,
defend
Courage
this
got
reality.
lacking.
Switching sides.
Need a drop.
Now we're talking. Don't jinx it though. Stay humble.
The only thing I can say is look
Here.
how much weight I've lost since then. I do have a much better tan right now, though. I look pretty tan, don't I? Don't I look pretty tan? Courage caught lying. What do you mean? I'm
Here.
not gonna lie. After I break like a 36-hour fast, that's how I feel right now. Okay, no, don't even try that. I have done 10 36-hour fasts. I haven't done one in over 8 months, but I was on point with those. I gotta get back to it. I seriously do. I asked AI to draw Cypher, Courage, Nick A30, and Typical Gamer their icon skins. Cypher
Let's
PK,
fly.
Courage JD, Nick A30, Typical Gamer. Okay.
Going up! Careful now!
Crazy how much better AI has gotten. Because I want to see this prompt again with AI today. It's probably so much better. Cypher and Courage had a baby.
Watch your eyes! Flash!
That is so cursed. I could not imagine my
Blocking
child having
movement.
Cyphers.
That's
Spike down A.
Better than Cyphers. I don't
Yep,
care.
I know.
Bro, Courage, what? I like Cypher? When was that?
I have the spike.
When was that my account name? This Reddit has the
Last player standing.
Bro said this was Courage JD Fortnite skin. Guys, I look nothing like that.
Match point.
Var försiktig.
Perfectly small nose.
The battlefield
I have perfect
changes with
forehead.
every
I have
play.
perfect glasses to eye ratio.
Need a
This
drop.
is just ridiculous.
That's typical gamer. Nah, bro. Typical eater. Do you guys have any originality? I asked AI to create a Courage icon skin. Why do I look like a bulldog?
Come again. Cut them down.
I was not ready. I was not ready for that third
I
spike.
have the spike.
Oh, here we go. Courage is
Obscuring
icon
vision.
skin.
Blocking
Let's
vision.
hear it.
Going up! No charges left.
Dizzy's up.
Careful now.
Dizzy has targets.
He'll box you like a fish.
Enemy spotted
Oh, wait,
B.
is that Courage JD? Icon? Series in the Save the World? Courage JD just got released. Fortnite Lego Courage gaming skin. It's my head. Fortnite Lego trash can. What is that, bro? Is it Skibbity?
See ya.
Confirmed.
Internet
Reloading.
terrible mistake.
Reloading.
Show me the gritty. Let's see it. Oh, this is gonna be good though. Show me the gritty, Jack. Gifted. 10 gifted. You know what, Junior? This is for you. Show me. Show me. This is for you, Junior. Ready? Show me. Yes, sir. Show me. I've actually gotten so much better at the gritty since then. Watch this. Ready? Ready?
Barrier deployed.
30 seconds left.
planted.
Strong. Come on now. I've made such improvements. That ain't the gritty, that's
Careful.
the McGritty. Guys, I found Courage logo in Lego
Over there.
Land. Oh, I got it.
One enemy remaining.
Too much like my logo. If Courage had his own airplane. Nah, bro.
Scatter.
Sus Courage. What could I...
Last player standing.
Like, what on earth? Reasons why Courage won't get an icon skin. He won't fit the item shop. He would take over the map. There would be no more consumables. No. The Cypher PK Reddit and Cypher, you guys have gone on for far too long.
Clutch.
So here's what we're gonna do. I need to
Defenders win.
Cypher PK roses and posts made on Reddit/CourageJD. And I'm gonna react to the funniest ones in an upcoming video. Help me fight back against Cypher and his bullying community. We must defend ourselves, Courageous. No way CourageJD did that. This is fake. God. Oh, that is just, oh God, that is so disgusting. I need to like wash my eyes out.
And the Lord's 11th commandment, Moses gets to be first in line at the buffet.
Wow.
Oh, seriously?
I know, you guys, it's so lame, but that's what it says.
That's what it says. Hey, I thought there was only 10 commandments. When was there an
Coming
11th one
for
that
America.
happened? Maybe he dropped
So
it
while
later on, I don't know.
no matter how it's now, you mentioned that right now most of the evidence is screenshots.
Wait, I thought United was the one that like had the whole punching scandal. Was Spirit with that too, or is that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, this is embarrassing. I'm so sorry. It's been like 500 years. This is your big moment, and I'm ruining it.
Men don't get told that feelings don't matter.
Like the movie The Ring.
Come back here, you.
Come back here, you.
Giggity crabbity.
Why is he walking like?
Since I'm a white cisgendered heterosexual man, and I have the privilege of a power structure that gives me all the advantages in life, and I have never once experienced hardship, I owe my comfortable existence to the disenfranchisement of women, racial minorities, and non-heteronormative special snowflakes, while I'm somehow oppressing with my mere existence. I thought I would take a moment to put my legs together and stop mansplaining, and allow the feminists a chance to explain themselves, since we all know how calm, reserved, and silently contemplative they all are. So here are 50 questions for feminists from a man.
Most of these are unfair generalizations, but feminists make unfair generalizations all the time, so I don't care.
Why is it that whenever you make a claim, you never provide any sources or back it up with empirical evidence? If you are really fighting for equality, why do you actively protest and disrupt men's issues conferences? Why do you complain about trivial things like manspreading and scientists wearing shirts you like, when women in Afghanistan can't show their faces in public, and girls in Somalia get their civil rights cut off? It just seems like those sorts of things should be higher up on your priority list. Why do you complain about men spreading their legs too far apart in public transportation, but not about the women who take up multiple seats with their purses and shopping bags? Why don't you have any respect for the presumption of innocence at all? Why do you think that your feelings should take precedent over facts? If you're so against body shaming, why do you call men's rights activists neckbeards? You...
Yo, what's good, Garbage Truck channel?